Turning our post-draft focus to the AFC East, where number 2 overall pick Zach Wilson became the newest New York Jet. The selection was much of a formality for the past couple months, but the Jets believe they got their guy in Wilson. The Finns also went fishing, offering last year's number 5 overall pick, one of his old pals, at number 6. Joining us now to offer their post-draft grades, always at the head of the class, CBS Sports NFL analyst Pete Prisco and Brady Quinn. Gentlemen, let's start with the new-look New York Jets. They identify their guy in Wilson, then they put protection in front of him and targets around him before even thinking about the defensive side of the ball. The strategy seemed sound. What about the guys? Pete, how does it grade out?
I like this draft. I really do. I think when you get your quarterback in Zach Wilson, I mean, obviously he's going to be the cornerstone of the entire draft class. But they did everything they could to make it easier on him. You come back and you get the wide receiver. You trade up to get the offensive lineman. I thought that was a little rich to move up to get Elijah Vera Tucker. But I think as a whole, this is a good group. Michael Carter, electrifying runner, is going to fit in their wide open in their system. And then you also look at some of the defensive players they drafted down the line. Another Michael Carter, and then the safety from Florida State's an interesting box guy. And we know the way they want to play. That could be their Cam Chancellor in their defense that Robert Saleh likes to use. So I like the group. I give it a B. They disappointed a little bit by giving up picks to go get Elijah Vera Tucker, but all in all, I like the selections.
I'm a little bit lower than Pete on this one. I give him a C+. And reason being is obviously I didn't have Zach Wilson rated as the second best quarterback in this draft. I think they could have went with Fields. That might have made a little bit more sense at number 2. I like the strategy, though, as Pete touched on, giving him some help. Giving him some offensive line help with Elijah Vera Tucker. I agree with Pete. Maybe a little bit rich or too early to take him in that spot. You get Elijah Moore, who can add to the mix of wide receivers, along with Corey Davis, who they brought in free agency, and Denzel Mims, their first-round pick from last year. So you're supplying with some help and taking some pressure off them by adding a running back and Michael Carter. My issue is this. You look at a couple of the cornerbacks they take him. They'll contribute on special teams, maybe potentially develop into starters at some point, but I don't necessarily know that they're day one starters. I think they needed help, in the cornerback position. They didn't really address it until later on in the draft, and then off the edge, which they really didn't address at all. So for that reason, I've got them a lot lower, even though I understand the strategy they went with, just not necessarily the guys that I'd be looking for in those particular spots. So all in all, the biggest gamble for this draft is going to be all about Zach Wilson and whether or not he pays off.
That's it. It all hinges on quarterback play. We'll see how it plays out in New York.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.